So Hari Om and salutations to all. Sri Ram as an ideal brother. Now, all of us know Bhagwan Ram had three brothers, Bharat, Lakshman and Shatrughna. But do you know that Bhagwan Ram and all the three brothers had an elder sister also? Do you know what was the name of Bhagwan Ram's sister? Okay, I am going to ask Ishika to unmute. Yes, Ishika, tell me. Voice is not audible. You are saying Shanta. From your lip movements, I can understand. Okay. Yes, so Shanta is the name. Shanta is the sister of Bhagwan Ram, elder sister. She was born to Dashrath Maharaj and Kausalya Devi, and she was adopted by King Romapada. And you know, it is Shanta who was married to a great rishi called Rishyashringa Rishi. And this Rishyashringa Rishi is the one who conducted the Putra Kameshti Yajna for Dashrath Maharaj. And as a result of that, Bhagwan Ram, Lakshman, Bharat, Shatrughna all were born. So Bhagwan Ram was very grateful to her also, and he is invited the sister and the brother-in-law, etc., come to the marriage, etc. But not too many details after that are given between Bhagwan Ram and Sita and Shantaji. Now, four brothers were there. All were born within a gap of very less time. They are born consecutively, first Bhagwan Ram, then Bharat, then Lakshman and Shatrughna. And so we find that they all have great love between themselves. They don't have a sibling rivalry. They don't fight with each other, quarrel, and become upset with each other. They play with each other. Some naughtiness, etc., also is there. But they have grown up together. They have studied together in the Gurukul. And they also got married together, all the four of them. For a short while, they were separated when Bhagwan went to the forest, but again after that they got reunited. So they have all grown up together. There was a great bond between all of them. And in specific, the two pairs that you are familiar with, Bhagwan Ram and Lakshman, they have great bonding between themselves, and Bharat and Shatrughna, they have a great bond between themselves. You know, in Tulsi Ramayana, it is said that Bhagwan Ram and Lakshman are like the flag pole and the flag. Can you guess who is the flag and who is the flag pole? In Ram and Lakshman, who is the flag and who is the flag pole? Type in the chat. Quickly. Ram is the flag. Very good, Ganaraj. Aditya says Ram is the flag. Srihar says Ram is the flag. Yes, all bright children we have here. Wonderful, excellent. So Ram is the flag and Lakshman is the pole. Why? Because you know the pole always supports the flag, and the flag represents the success, achievement, victory. So Bhagwan Ram's glory and victory is what Lakshmanji always wants. He wants the Supreme Lord to be always victorious. And you know, people think that he is very angry person, but that is not so. Bhagwan Ram is, Lakshmanji is not very angry person. He gets angry only if Bhagwan Ram is insulted. Otherwise, he doesn't get angry. So Lakshmanji is like that pole, and Bhagwan Ram is like the flag, and Bharatji is like the body, and Shatrughnaji is like the shadow. The shadow always follows the body. In that same way, limitation of example, but meaning they are so close to each other. Now, specifically coming to Bhagwan Ram as a brother, you know, it is said that Bhagwan Ram would not eat unless Lakshman comes. They would eat together. And Lakshmanji will not sleep until he has served Bhagwan Ram, pressed his feet, etc. So he had the bhav of a sevak. Lakshmanji had the bhav of I am a sevak of Sri Ram. But Bhagwan Ram didn't think that I am the master always. You see, his relationship is very beautiful with Lakshmanji. So I'm going to take up some aspects of the relationship between Bhagwan Ram and Lakshmanji. So we find that when Vishwamitra Rishi comes, he only asks for Bhagwan Ram, that send Ram with me to Dashrath Maharaj. But as we know, Bhagwan Ram and Lakshmana are inseparable. So Lakshmanji also goes with Bhagwan Ram. He doesn't say that, why should I come to kill all the demons? Ram has been called, let him go. It is a very risky job. I am not going to come. No, he accompanies. Both of them go together. And there they serve Vishwamitra Rishi also together. The beautiful description comes in the Ramayana that, they both press the feet of Vishwamitra Rishi, and Vishwamitra Rishi, when he goes to sleep, then Bhagwan Ram goes to sleep. At that time, Lakshmanji is pressing his feet, and finally then Lakshmanji goes to sleep. So they serve the Guru, and Vishwamitra Rishi also tells them about the story of Tataka, her background, and then finally Bhagwan Ram kills Tataka. So Vishwamitra Rishi is very happy, and he wants to teach the knowledge of special missiles and weapons and astra, shastra, etc. So he is teaching Bhagwan Ram, but Bhagwan Ram says, wait. Please teach this to Lakshman also. See, this is the beauty. Bhagwan Ram did not say that, hey, I will get this all knowledge. I will be, I will become more special. I will become more successful, and Lakshman will not have this. He was very loving towards Lakshman. And he told specifically to Vishwamitra Rishi that don't teach me alone. He is my brother. You have to teach both of us. As siblings, we should remember this. We should help each other, empower each other, not fight with each other or try to dominate over the other. One may be elder, one may be younger, but one should empower each other. One should learn from each other. One should love each other, have trust, have respect for each other, appreciate the goodness in each other. That is the quality of a great sibling. So Bhagwan Ram tells Vishwamitra Rishi that you please teach Lakshman also. And Vishwamitra Rishi, of course, listens to him. And finally, when they go to Mithila, as I said yesterday, there was no Swayamvar there. They both go to see the bow. In Valmiki Ramayana, there is no description of Bhagwan Ram has seen Sita ji earlier, but in Kamba Ramayana, in Tulsi Ramayana, there is a description that how Bhagwan and Lakshman ji, Lakshman ji goes to Vishwamitra Rishi and says that, with your permission, can I go for a sightseeing tour with Bhagwan Ram? And the intention of Lakshman ji is not that he wants to see Mithila. Intention of Lakshman ji is that people of Mithila must have darshan of Bhagwan Ram. So he takes Vishwamitra ji's permission, and Vishwamitra Rishi says, okay, go. And they both go into Mithila, and they are moving around in the streets of Mithila. Like, if you go to some place, new place, then you want to go there, you want to see all the famous places there, plus you want to go to the streets and eat the street food there and, enjoy there. And so like that, Lakshmanji he was not actually interested in eating some food or, seeing some great places. He wanted people to see glory of Bhagwan Ram and have his darshan. So they went, and then they went to a garden which had a temple of Mother Parvati. Sita ji used to come there to worship Mother Parvati. And that is where Bhagwan Ram and Sita ji first saw each other. And you know what happened? Love at first sight happened. They both saw each other, and amazing. They both said, Sita ji prayed to Mother Parvati that if I have to get married. Please ensure that Bhagwan Ram becomes my husband. And Bhagwan Ram also felt, Sita ji is divine and I should marry her only. So who was instrumental in bringing both of, who was instrumental? It was Lakshman ji who ensured that Bhagwan comes out and sees Mithila, and then he has this meeting with Sita ji. Of course, he didn't know Sita ji at that time, but he became an instrument in that. So Bhagwan Ram and Lakshman ji, they were like that, knowledge they used to share, love they shared, happiness and joy they shared. So when Bhagwan Ram goes there, finally, to see the bow, and he lifts the bow, he tries to string it, the bow breaks. Janak Maharaj is very happy. Now in Valmiki Ramayana, as I said, there is no Swayamvar, but in Tulsi Ramayana, the description of a Swayamvar is there. And there, Janak Maharaj is feeling that no king is able to lift this bow. What will happen to my daughter? And he laments. He says, is there no Kshatriya? At that time, Lakshmanji gets up. He says, how dare you say that in the presence of Ram? Shri Ram is here and you are saying there is no Kshatriya in this whole place? He has not yet come and lifted the bow. So he stands up for his brother. And finally, Bhagwan lifts the bow in the Swayamvar. That is in Tulsi Ramayana, the description. So Lakshmanji stands up for Bhagwan Ram. And when the bow is broken, Janak Maharaj offers Sita ji and Urmila in marriage to Bhagwan Ram and Lakshmanji. And we know that after that, Dashrath Maharaj, Vashishta Rishi, all of them come, and then Vashishta Maharshi says, why don't you get Mandavi and Shrutakirti also married to Bharat and Shatrughna? So that way 4 brothers got married to 4 sisters. And when they were returning after the marriage, suddenly what happened? Parshuram Bhagwan comes there. And this Parshuram Bhagwan, when he comes, he is very angry, saying, who has broken the bow of Lord Shiva? Who is that arrogant person? I am going to fight with that person. And he gets very angry. Again, at that time, Dashrath Maharaj tries to console him. He doesn't listen. Again, Bhagwan Ram, again, Lakshmanji stands up for Bhagwan Ram there. So in these 2 instances, we find Lakshmanji is standing up for Bhagwan Ram. He doesn't abandon Bhagwan Ram, or he doesn't say that, it is Ram's problem. It's not my problem. A sibling must be there for the other when they are especially in some difficult time or difficult situation. We should not abandon them at that time saying, it's your problem, you deal with it. I have my things to do. I'm not going to bother about you. In fact, I will add to your problem. Then that is not good, sibling conduct. So Lakshmanji stood up for Bhagwan Ram, and finally Bhagwan Ram pacified him, saying, chill, chill, chill. Don't get so excited. And let us see what Parshuramji is saying. So Parshuramji said, if, I have this special bow of Vishnu, if you are really so great, try and use this bow. And Bhagwan Ram immediately takes the bow, strings the bow, and he places the arrow. And it is said that once he placed the arrow, Bhagwan Ram said, my arrow is, it doesn't fail. So I have to shoot. Tell me where to shoot. So finally, Parshuramji says, you shoot in such and such direction. Some of the evil forces are there. They will get destroyed. So that way, they return. Now, when they return, all of us know that but Dashrath Maharaj wants to make him the crown prince, Bhagwan Ram the crown prince, and finally Kaikeyi plays her trick and Bhagwan has to be exiled. So when Bhagwan comes to Lakshmanji to tell about this, Lakshmanji opposes the idea. And Lakshmanji says that Dashrath Maharaj's promise is to Kaikeyi, why should you suffer for that? And Kaikeyi has a wicked mind. We don't know what has happened to him. So you don't need to follow all this. See, Lakshmanji is telling out of his attachment to Bhagwan Ram that you don't have to follow the promise given by father to the mother. Let the mother ask something else. You refuse to follow this. Dashrath Maharaj, Bhagwan Ram says, no. Our parampara is that when a word is given, we have to keep up. And the father has given his word. If we dishonor the word of the father is also the king. He is not only a father. So how will Praja and the people follow dharma thereafter? Then people will also start following adharma. So we cannot do that. He explains properly to Lakshmanji. And he says, don't blame Dashrath Maharaj and Kaikeyi. Meaning, don't blame father and mother. It is karma which is responsible for all this. It is my fate. Lakshmanji says, what fate are you talking about? You should do Purushartha. You should fight it out and wage a war against Dashrath Maharaj and destroy this evil forces who are conspiring to send you to the forest. Think about it. Lakshmanji has come in such a mood. He says, you fight against Dashrath Maharaj. Because he is very attached to his brother. So at that time, Bhagwan Ram consoles him and he says, no, we cannot do all that. And I am not interested in the kingdom by itself. It is all right. It's only 14 years. Father's word I will keep up. Don't worry. Then finally Lakshmanji says, so if you are going, I will also come with you. Bhagwan Ram explains to him that no, you must stay back here. You must ensure that the three mothers are taken care of. Father is taken care of. You have a duty. You have a wife. You must take care of all of them. You have great responsibility. In fact, he even tells to this extent that we don't know what would have happened. What would happen if you come with me? This Kaikeyi can do anything wrong. And she can hurt our mothers, meaning Kausalya Devi and Sumitra Devi. She can even kill the king. So your being here is extremely important. Lakshmanji says, the king has fought wars with so many great people and he has helped the Devatas and everybody. So why should we think that the king won't be able to handle it? And as far as the mothers and all are concerned, everybody has their own destiny. If you don't take me with you, I am not going to survive. I won't live. So you have to take me with you. Now please think about it. Lakshmanji could have chosen comfort. He need not have gone to the forest. And Bhagwan Ram is also telling him, don't come with me. But he chose to go with his brother. One who is with the beloved in the difficult times is the one whose love is real. And not only he chose to go 14 years, he did not sleep for 14 years. He served tirelessly for 14 years, Bhagwan Ram and Sita ji. That is the love of of Lakshmanji for Bhagwan. And Bhagwan also reciprocates in that way. So he is not very adamant. So when Lakshman says all this that, you have to take me, Bhagwan says, okay, come, let us go. He is not stuck on ego saying, I am telling you, I am the elder brother. You have to listen to me. You better stay back here. He was not acting out of ego. When we love somebody, we understand their standpoint. We are open to listening to them, understanding their emotions, and we should be sensitive to respond to them. So finally, Bhagwan took Lakshmanji with him. Because Lakshmanji, as I said, he's like the pole without which the flag cannot be. And he is like the life of Lakshmanji is Bhagwan Ram. So he can't stay separate. And that's why Bhagwan understood all that. Bhagwan also loves him so much. So he took. Now, when they went to the forest, what happened there? See, one beautiful aspect is in the forest, Bhagwan is served by Lakshmanji. Lakshmanji builds the kutyas, takes care of the Lord, protects the Lord, ensures that the danger from wild animals, etc. is not there. fruits, water, everything is available to the Lord and Sita ji. So one is he serves the Lord. But second is we find in Tulsi Ramayana a beautiful description comes that he does not look at Bhagwan only as a brother. He also looks at Bhagwan as an elder and as a guru. So here we find in Tulsi Ramayana beautiful description called Ram Gita, where Lakshman ji is asking Bhagwan Ram about what is knowledge, what is devotion, what is Maya, what is Vairagya, how to attain moksha, and Bhagwan Ram gives him that knowledge. So that's a beautiful relationship where knowledge is exchanged, there is love, there is trust, they stand up for each other, they understand each other, and like they say, I have your back, meaning I am there at difficult times for you. That's such a beautiful relationship. So Bhagwan Ram shares the knowledge with him and gives him the right understanding and deepens his vision of life. So that's a very beautiful thing that we see there. Bhagwan Ram teaching Lakshman ji. Then we find a very funny incident also that happens. So they have some fun also with them. Ramayana is not all the time serious. So when Shurpanakha comes there, she is very fascinated by Bhagwan Ram. And she goes to Bhagwan Ram and she wants to take him with her and she wants to marry him, etc. So when Shurpanakha approaches Bhagwan Ram says, she is my wife. He points at Sita ji and says, I am already committed. I am already married. So you go to Lakshman. Lakshman, he doesn't have a wife. So now, obviously, Lakshman ji had a wife, Urmila, but he did not have the wife there. So this Shurpanakha goes there. When Shurpanakha goes there, Lakshman ji says, I'm only a servant. Would you be happy to be married to a servant? Why don't you go to the master? So Lakshman ji sends her to the master, Bhagwan Ram. And Bhagwan Ram again says that, I have such a beautiful wife and I can't turn my attention away to anyone else. And then she realizes this wife is the cause and she tries to attack Sita ji and Lakshman ji chops off her nose and her ears. Imagine in a forest when you are surrounded by such dangerous creatures at that time, and the intention of Shurpanakha was very clear. She is a Rakshasi and she has come there with evil intentions. So both the brothers, they indulged in some what we call light fun. And finally, when Lakshman ji understood that she is very dangerous, he chops off her nose and her ears and she goes from there. Now, obviously, she is very, very hurt and she goes to Ravan, instigates him, and we know the story. Marich comes as a golden deer and Bhagwan Ram goes to get the golden deer. At that time, he tells Sita ji that you be here and Lakshman will protect you. When Marich was killed, he shouted, Lakshman, in the voice of Bhagwan Ram. So suddenly Sita ji thought that Ram ji needs some help. See the confidence that Lakshman ji had. Lakshman ji says, no, Bhagwan Ram doesn't need any help. And in fact, he had single-handedly killed 14,000 demons just before the Shurpanakha episode happened. Still, Sita ji felt that, no, he must be in some trouble. Lakshman ji says, no, that's the confidence he has in Bhagwan Ram. So finally, Sita ji says such things in Valmiki Ramayana. If you read, it is terrible. She says, you are doubt, you have evil eyes on me, and you want to misbehave with me. I didn't expect this from you. You were supposed to protect me. And Lakshman ji can't hear any of that. Says, what is this? What is she saying? He's very deeply hurt. And what happens, in Valmiki Ramayana, one very very important fact you should know. There is no Lakshman Rekha in Valmiki Ramayana. Lakshman Rekha is in some other versions of Ramayana. Lakshmanji doesn't draw any line. Lakshmanji says, oh mother, I am going because you are telling me and insisting so much. I am just going because of that, but you please stay here, be safe, please. And he goes. And Bhagwan Ram is coming back, and suddenly he says, Lakshman, why are you coming? I told you to protect Sita. Then Lakshmanji narrates what has happened. By the time they reach the ashram, what they find? Ravana has kidnapped Sita. Lakshmanji gets a firing of his life from Bhagwan Ram. But Bhagwan Ram does not doubt him, saying that you did not do your duty. Bhagwan Ram doesn't doubt him that you had evil eyes on Sita ji. Lakshmanji also took the anger of Bhagwan and heard what all Bhagwan said. Think about it. He could have also said, I am serving here 14 years, without my wife and not sleeping, eating, and you are saying such words to me. I am going to go away. I am not going to serve you anymore. Go do whatever you want. He didn't say that. See the bond. Bhagwan Ram got angry. Lakshmanji does not take it in a wrong sense because there is understanding between the brothers. And then Bhagwan Ram cries like anything. And you see the description in Valmiki Ramayana. He is asking the trees, have you seen my Sita? He asks the deers, he asks the mountains. He even gets angry. He says, oh mountains, I will blast you. Oh river Godavari, where is my Sita? He is asking everybody in nature, plants, birds, animals, rivers, mountains, stars. And he is crying like anything. At that time, it is Lakshmanji who is consoling him, saying that, oh Lord, please have some patience, have some strength, calm your mind. We will definitely find Sita ji. See the bond. Like Bhagwan Ram doesn't say that, I am so great, I am so elder, and he is my younger brother. How can I cry in front of him? And I am a man after all. It is a false stereotype. Men also feel sad. Men also can cry. There's nothing wrong if men cry. Unnecessarily in the world, it is said, "Mard ko dard nahi hota." It's all crap. Men also have a heart, and men also feel sad, and men also can cry, and they don't have to go and hide and cry somewhere alone separately. Arjun cried in front of Bhagwan Krishna right in the middle of the battlefield. So their bond is like that, and Bhagwan Ram is consoled at that time by Lakshmanji. And finally, what we see that there is friendship with Sugriv that happens. Vali is killed, Sugriv gets back his kingdom, and then there is rainy season. So 4 months they have to wait. They can't send out search parties for Sita ji. But in that time, that Sugriv becomes very indulgent and he forgets his promise to Bhagwan Ram. And Bhagwan Ram is feeling so sorry and he feels sad that, Sugriv is not doing anything and time is passing away. I'm missing my wife and Sita ji, what she would be, what is her condition. And this monsoon season, brings more longing. Lakshmanji is the one who is consoling him at that time. And slowly, Bhagwan Ram, looking at him in this condition, Lakshmanji gets very angry. And he says, I am going to kill this Vali. Enough of all this, what he is doing. He has forgotten his promise. Bhagwan Ram consoles him at that time. See how is their bond. Sometimes Lakshmanji consoles Bhagwan Ram, sometimes Bhagwan Ram consoles Lakshmanji. And Bhagwan Ram tells him, cool down, cool down. Go to Sugriv only as my messenger and convey my message to him. That now is the time, monsoon is ending, please send out your monkeys to search for Sita. When Lakshmanji reaches there, Hanuman has already cautioned Sugriv that, what are you doing? You should become alert and you should start finding out people, sending out people to find Sita ji. But this Sugriv, he was drunk, he was indulgent. He told Hanumanji, gather all the monkeys, you take the lead, I am not going to do anything. So when Lakshmanji reaches there, he is furious again. But Hanumanji and Tara, they console him. And finally, search parties are sent out, etc. All that happens. One more thing that happens is that when the war starts, I'm skipping a little bit because we don't have enough time. When the war happens, do you know? So tell me, how many times did Hanumanji bring Sanjeevani from the Himalayas? One. 5 times. No, not 5. That is too much. Huh? 2. Those who have said 2, pat yourself. Well done. 2 times he brings. It's very amazing in Valmiki Ramayana. First time when he brings, when Meghnad is fighting with Bhagwan Ram and Lakshman, and he issues one astra by which both of them become unconscious and they are just not coming up. They are not getting revived at all. So Jambavan calls Hanuman and says, go to this mountain and Dronagiri Parvat, and these are the herbs, Mrita Sanjeevani, and he gives Vishalakarani, like that he gives some names of the herbs. He says, you go and bring that. Lakshmanji, when he goes, Hanumanji, when he goes there, all these herbs, they are hiding. So he can't recognize which are these, because the Jambavanji said they will shine in the night. Now they were all hiding. So he said, Acha, you are hiding, you are not manifesting. So you think I will not take you? He lifted the whole mountain and he brought. That entire Dronagiri Parvat only he brought. And Sushen Vaidya, he took out all the required herbs and finally he brought Ramji and Lakshmanji back to consciousness. Hanumanji went again and he placed the mountain there. And again he came back. Think about it, what Hanumanji has done. Then when Ravan is fighting with Lakshmanji, Ravan hits one arrow and Lakshmanji is completely unconscious and almost on the verge of death. At that time, you should see what is the feeling of Bhagwan Ram, that, my life is departing. He becomes inconsolable. He cries like anything, and looking at that, Hanumanji doesn't even wait. He knows what to do. Straight he goes once again. Again goes and brings that. This time Sushen Vaidya has told him. So he goes and he brings the mountain again. And when Lakshmanji is revived, Bhagwan embraces him and he says, my life has come back to me. This is the bond between Bhagwan Ram and Lakshmanji. Bhagwan Ram has so many beautiful qualities as an ideal brother. About Bharatji, we know that how he does not misunderstand Bharatji when he comes. Bharatji comes with a whole army to Chitrakoot. Lakshmanji misunderstands Bharatji, but Bhagwan Ram doesn't misunderstand. He says, no, Bharat is not like that. And he tells Bharatji also that don't blame your mother, don't behave badly with her. It is all the play of karma and destiny. She is only an instrument, so treat her well. Bhagwan Ram has no grudge against the mothers, especially Kaikeyi. He doesn't have any grudge against her at all. In fact, when they all come there, he goes and greets Mother Kaikeyi first. And Kaikeyi also feels so bad, Kare, what have I done? When Bharatji tells him to come back, Kaikeyi tells him to come back, Bhagwan doesn't come back. Bhagwan says that we have to keep up the promise of our father, so he doesn't come back. So Bharatji asks him, then please give me some symbol by which I can remember you constantly. So Bhagwan gives him the Padukas. And those Padukas Bharatji keeps as at his altar, and he takes guidance of the Padukas every day. Bhagwan also gives him knowledge in Valmiki Ramayana. In the Ayodhya Kand, 100th chapter is called Kachit Sarga. So continuously in that there are many questions asked, which are all about management, leadership, time management, team building, motivation. Beautiful portion of Valmiki Ramayana. So Bhagwan gave knowledge to Bharatji also, that how should he rule for 14 years. And Bharatji's love also is such, he says, if Bhagwan is in this form of a ascetic, I will also live like that. So Bharatji doesn't live like a prince in the Ayodhya. He stays in the outskirts of Ayodhya in Nandigram, and he lives like a ascetic. And you know where he stays? He says, I am a servant of the Lord. So if Bhagwan is walking on the earth and sleeping on the ground, I will live below the earth. So he digs a place below the earth and he lives there. This is his devotion towards Bhagwan Ram. And every morning it is said he would go to the Padukas, and it is said Padukas would talk to him also. He would tell the Padukas that, as though Bhagwan Ram himself is there, that this is the plan for today. These are the things to be achieved. Do we have your permission? Can you please guide us? In that way, with his devotion, he ruled for 14 years and lived in great austerity. And he had told Bhagwan Ram that at the end of 14 years, if you don't come back and if you delay even by 1 minute, I will burn myself. And that is what he made himself ready for. So when Sita ji was released from Ravan's captivity, Bhagwan sent Hanumanji saying, Hanuman, go quickly to Bharat and tell him, and first watch his face. When you tell him that Bhagwan Ram is on his way, if there is a little hesitation also, you come back and tell me, because 14 years when somebody is ruling, they can get attached to power. But Bhagwan, and so Bhagwan was very sensitive about that. He went, Hanumanji went, and what he saw, that Bharatji is in fact doing the opposite. Bharatji was waiting that why Bhagwan has not yet come. He was going to jump into fire. So Hanumanji says, wait, stop. Bhagwan is on the way, just few minutes, please don't do anything. And finally, when Bhagwan comes back, Bharatji hands over the kingdom to him, saying, this is my duty is done. It is your kingdom. Now you please rule. This is the beauty of the relationship of Bhagwan Ram with Lakshmanji, with Bharatji. There's great love, trust, respect, knowledge sharing, standing up for each other. These are qualities that we must have in our life also as the siblings. So that's where I will stop for today. And I hope we can apply some of these qualities at least in our relationships.
Hari Om Swamiji, thanks for that wonderful storytelling session. Many things that I did not know too. Kids, did you all learn anything new from this today? If yes, please remember it. It's going to help you all for the Google Forms. And one more thing is, I did notice a lot of chat being, exchanged. So there's one thing we could do, like Lakshman ji, if we did not like anything, we could not respond to it. And that in that way, it will, everyone's attention will not be diverted. I hope that gets implemented from tomorrow for the next chat session where we have. And now till you all go into the respective breakout rooms, the further breakout rooms, since Swamiji has given us such a wonderful story, there is again a beautiful bhajan in your PDF book. Can you all open your PDF book? And it says there is a bhajan called Duniya Chale Na Shri Ram Ke Bina. So if you all can just flip over to that page, I'll just give you a small glimpse of how that bhajan is, the tune is, and maybe we can have it again repeated tomorrow or day after, as and when the time permits. So till you all go into the breakout rooms, we are going to take up this bhajan now. So all of you all can have your books handy, okay? And I'm going to start it now.
Just one, Divya ji.
Yes, Swamiji.
One announcement I just want to make. Some children have asked some questions here. because of lack of time, I won't be able to answer now. But on this Sunday, I have a separate Q&A session.
Okay.
That is from 3:30 to 4:30 or 3 to 4:30. I don't remember. I will show the announcement tomorrow also. Whoever has some questions about Ramayana and about the stories that I'm sharing, you can ask in that session and I will be able to answer. And
Okay,
also
sir.
that some of the children, as they have said here, when the session is on, let the chat be, if possible, disabled. If I ask a question and tell them to answer in chat, at that time the host can open up the chat, so that way the chat will not disturb everyone.
Okay, Swamiji.
One can do.
We'll have it done it from tomorrow.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.